Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers preemption, animal impoundment, and custodial arrests, and is brought to us by Cleveland Area Body Cameras channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. On February 27, 2024, officers from the Brooklyn Police Department in Brooklyn, Ohio, responded to a call from local resident Courtney Carter, who reported that there was a loose alligator in her home. When the officers arrived on the scene, they were informed that Miss Carter's husband, Delonte Carter, took the animal to the gas station. The officers then caught up with Mr. Carter as he was walking with the animal on the sidewalk, and the interaction that followed was captured on officer body camera.
Are you Courtney?
No, I'm not Courtney. I'm her cousin.
You're her cousin?
Yeah.
Okay, where the one that lives here?
Yeah, Courtney lives, yeah.
Do you live here?
No, I live here with her.
Okay, are your kids inside?
My kids are inside.
There's no alligator inside?
He walked down the street with her.
How big's this alligator?
Yeah, this long.
Is it a caiman?
I don't know. It's a dwarf caiman.
Okay.
And he got her mom. I'm surprised I didn't see.
What's he wearing?
What is he wearing? What does he have on? Blue hoodie, black pants. He's at that gas station down there.
Okay.
All right.
It's cool, man, but I'm confused.
No, it's a dwarf caiman.
Yeah, so for some reason we got a call saying it was loose in the house, and obviously it's not loose in the house.
No.
You guys are still working through all that.
Who? Never loose in the house.
Yeah, well, you have it under control, obviously.
Yeah, why would I have it
So,
loose?
okay. Out of curiosity, like, how does one even get one?
They dwarf caimans, so they totally legal. They ban on crocodiles and alligators. Dwarf caimans, they don't get no bigger than 5 feet.
So that's how?
Yeah.
Okay, but you're good, the family's good?
Yeah.
All that? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on between you two, but we at least had to check, make sure there's not, like, we didn't know anything.
Bro, I'm not, as you can clearly see,
Yeah.
she would never, only took her out to get the algae off of her so she could go back in the tank.
Yeah. All right. Let me check on something real quick, and we'll get you on your way.
What happened?
Well, nothing terribly wrong. You're saying it's legal, but apparently there is some kind of ordinance against it.
No, there is no ordinance against a dwarf caiman. They are totally legal. They sell them at pet stores all around.
I know.
Pet stores sell illegal animals all the time.
This is not illegal. It's called a dwarf caiman.
Okay, it's an exotic animal, correct?
They consider crocodiles and...
Would you consider a crocodile an exotic animal?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have an ordinance against exotic animals.
This is a dwarf caiman.
I understand
These
that.
are legal in the state of Ohio.
Okay, cities are allowed to be more strict than state law.
Yeah, we have our different ordinances.
Yeah.
If you live down in the country, it wouldn't matter. There's more specific things in Brooklyn.
So they never told me that I could not have a dwarf caiman.
Mr. Carter argues that his pet is a dwarf caiman, which is a subspecies of alligator that is legal under Ohio law, and the officers inform him that there is a local ordinance that makes dwarf caimans illegal. Section 935.02 of the Ohio Revised Statutes prohibits the possession of a so-called dangerous wild animal, which Section 935.01 defines as including, quote, caimans, excluding dwarf caimans. On the other hand, Section 505.08 of the Brooklyn Codified Ordinances criminalizes the ownership of quote-unquote exotic animals within the municipality, and Section 505.00 of the ordinances defines the term exotic animals as including all species within the order Crocodilia, including all caimans. Now, while the Brooklyn Ordinance clearly prohibits dwarf caimans, Mr. Carter may have an argument that the municipal ordinance is quote-unquote preempted or invalidated by the Ohio state statute because state law is of a higher authority than local law. As the Supreme Court of Ohio explained in the 2017 case of State ex rel Rocky Ridge Development LLC versus Winters, quote, a local ordinance is preempted only when a general law of the state directly conflicts with it. A conflict exists if the ordinance permits or licenses that which the statute forbids and prohibits, or vice versa.
Where'd you get this thing?
I bought it at a pet store.
Like around here?
Yeah, South Euclid. But they also sell them right here in Brook Park, so I don't understand.
No, just because they sell them doesn't mean
People sell a lot of things that are illegal, so
Well, he's pulling up the ordinance. We're not going to continue. It is an issue. All right.
dude, what happened this morning?
I don't know. I came there, she wasn't even there, so I don't understand. I really don't. I literally came to the gas station. My neighbor helped me wash the algae off. If you look at my driveway, you can see the bucket of.
Hey, it looks clean. That.
Okay.
No, it had a lot of algae built up from the time.
Well, why would she call us that you let it out?
Why would I let?
Dude, I don't know. That's how the call came in.
I don't know.
Are you guys arguing again?
No, she wasn't even there.
She just pulled up, and your cousin and the cousin's there.
Listen, they just both pulled up. I've been at the house. I literally just ordered me pizza.
Okay.
I came here because they don't accept $100 bill. Me and my neighbor washed my alligator out.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. So here's what we're checking on. We're making sure that there's no law being broken with the alligator thing.
It's not an alligator. It's a dwarf caiman.
Dwarf caiman. All right. That's essentially what we're checking on, and then we'll be on our way. You know Tiger King, right?
Huh?
No,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. He's
So exotic.
Yeah. He's got all those animals. He can do it because he's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but this is a dwarf caiman.
Yeah, totally different. Not a tiger, not a huge animal.
No. They don't get no bigger than 5 feet.
Yeah,
That's why you're allowed to have them. Like, I can even look it up for you.
yeah.
Hey, Delonte? Yeah. Can we put the alligator in the back of this car?
For what?
Because you can't have it.
It's not an alligator.
Yeah, it's an exotic animal. We have an ordinance against it.
This is a dwarf caiman.
Okay, that's fine. It's a dwarf caiman. That's fine. It's illegal to possess it in the city of Brooklyn. So we're going to secure it and call our animal control officer and see how we're going to handle this, all right?
So if they say it's legal here, for me
It's
to
not
own a dwarf
illegal
caiman-
here, or it's not legal here. That's what I am telling you. It doesn't matter what state law says. The city of Brooklyn, like you're not allowed to have a pit bull in the city of
So
Brooklyn.
why can't my family members just come get my animal?
Because that's not how we're doing. You've committed a crime in our city.
I paid for this animal.
I understand that. I'm not saying we're seizing it right now. We're going to call our animal control
Let's
officer.
put him in here.
So we're going to ask you to do it since you're holding him.
Yeah. I've never handled an alligator, so.
It's not an alligator. It's the
Okay,
dwarf caiman.
dwarf
Okay,
caiman.
I'm alligator,
Tomato,
crocodile
tomato.
thing, whatever.
Watch its tail.
Yep, that's. All right.
Let me make sure that
The officers order Mr. Carter to place his dwarf caiman in the back of the police vehicle while they coordinate with animal control. Under Section 715.23 of the Ohio Revised Code, municipalities such as Brooklyn have the authority to regulate animals within the municipal corporation, impound and hold the animals, and, on notice to the owners, authorize the sale of the animals for the penalty imposed by any ordinance. Likewise, Section 505.22 of the Brooklyn Ordinances states that, quote, the animal control officer shall take up and impound every animal found in violation of any of the provisions of this chapter, in addition to the other applicable penalties for such violation. Accordingly, because the dwarf caiman was prohibited by the local ordinance, it is highly likely that a court would conclude that it could be impounded.
let me get a picture of it and make sure that you don't have no. And literally.
Delonte, turn around for me.
Huh?
Put your hands behind your back.
What did I do?
You're under arrest.
What did I do?
For the exotic animal.
What did I do?
You're not allowed to own it. It's a crime. It's a misdemeanor of the 3rd degree. It's an arrestable offense.
I didn't do anything.
I don't know what you don't understand here. You did. You are not allowed to possess that. Just like you're not allowed to possess drugs, right?
I bought it at a pet store.
Okay, people buy drugs from drug dealers. Doesn't mean it's legal.
Yeah.
How old are you?
32 years old.
32. This isn't a hard concept to understand. You are in possession of something that is illegal to be in possession of. Therefore, that is called a crime. It's an arrestable crime. So right now you are under arrest. I can't explain it any other way.
The officers place Mr. Carter in handcuffs and inform him that possessing a dwarf caiman is an arrestable criminal offense. Section 505.08 of the Brooklyn Ordinances, which, as we explored earlier in this episode, prohibits the ownership of dwarf caimans, makes the violation of the ordinance a criminal misdemeanor of the third degree. Section 2935.03 of the Ohio Revised Code states that, quote, a municipal police officer shall arrest and detain, until a warrant can be obtained, a person found violating within the limits of the political subdivision in which the peace officer is employed a law of this state, an ordinance of a municipal corporation, or a resolution of a township. Accordingly, it is nearly certain that a court would conclude that the officers did not violate state law by arresting Mr. Carter, as they were within their jurisdiction and clearly had probable cause to believe that he owned a dwarf caiman. Likewise, as we have discussed many times before here on ATA, the Supreme Court has repeatedly upheld the constitutionality of custodial arrests for minor offenses, even in situations where state law would not allow for the arrest. For instance, in the 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista, the Supreme Court held that, quote, if an officer has probable cause to believe that an individual has committed even a very minor criminal offense in his presence, he may, without violating the Fourth Amendment, arrest the offender. As such, it is also probable that a court would determine that the officers did not violate the Constitution by arresting Mr. Carter.
I want your money. Good. I got a key. He's got money in there.
Alright, we're gonna go with my right?
2254 right here. $22.54 radio. All right, we have one Cayman and one black male in custody.
Copy.
What's your name? Are you Courtney?
Yeah, he just I was going to the house. He was walking like he was. Yes, he trashed it. He completely. I have to find my house. I don't want to look at my house. My house is destroyed. Yes, he. I didn't hear you. My house is a mess. Can you hear me? My house is a mess. I don't want him back at the house. I don't want him back at the house, please. Yes, that's my husband. He is destroying the house, and he got that crap around his kids. He is not thinking rational right now. I said I will have to fight him. I just got to keep on.
After Mr. Carter's arrest, in addition to being charged for owning a dwarf caiman, he was also charged with a first-degree misdemeanor violation of Section 505.06 of the Brooklyn Ordinances, which prohibits using an animal in the furtherance of criminal activities. It is unclear what criminal activities Mr. Carter is alleged to have involved the dwarf caiman in, but it is possible that the charge stems from Ms. Carter's claims that the animal was destroying the home. The charges were originally filed in the Brooklyn Mayor's Court on February 29, 2024, and were transferred to Parma Municipal Court on March 12, 2024. Mr. Carter has pleaded not guilty to both charges, and as of the date of writing this episode, the case is still pending. It is unclear whether Mr. Carter has filed a complaint or intends to pursue any sort of legal action against the officers involved. What happened to Mr. Carter's dwarf caiman is also unknown. Overall, the Brooklyn officers get a B, because although they spoke to Mr. Carter in a condescending tone at certain points in the interaction, they likely remained within their legal authority throughout the encounter and did not use any excessive force or otherwise violate Mr. Carter's rights in the process of his arrest. Although there is a valid argument that the Brooklyn Ordinance prohibiting dwarf caimans is preempted by state law, there is also a legitimate argument that it is not, and courts have generally held that officers do not violate the Constitution when they make arrests in good faith reliance reliance on a law that is later held to be invalid. And while I would have liked to see the officers exercise their discretion not to conduct a custodial arrest in this situation, under the Brooklyn ordinances, Mr. Carter committed a third-degree misdemeanor criminal offense, and a court would almost certainly conclude that their arrest was lawful. While I am not in agreement with the outcome of this encounter, my dissent is with the ordinance itself, not the officer's actions. And in general, I believe it is important that officers enforce the criminal laws within their jurisdiction, regardless of any personal beliefs they might have about the reasonableness of these laws. Mr. Carter gets an A-, because although his ownership of a dwarf caiman did violate the Brooklyn ordinances, Mr. Carter seemed to be genuinely unaware of the local restriction and complied with the officer's orders and his arrest without any sort of unlawful resistance. It is unfortunate that Mr. Carter had not previously learned of the Brooklyn ordinance, as it appears that he attempted to be responsible and do his due diligence on the subject by researching state law and purchasing the animal from a legitimate pet store. Unfortunately, courts have consistently held that ignorance of the law does not excuse citizens from criminal liability, and unless a court finds that the Brooklyn ordinance is preempted by Ohio state law, it seems likely that Mr. Carter could be convicted of violating the ordinance. This encounter demonstrates the complications that can arise when municipal law differs from state laws, particularly in situations like this, where the municipal law prohibits something that the state law does not, and the challenge this discrepancy can pose to citizens attempting to ensure that they are not violating the law. Let us know if there's an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my second channel for even more police interaction content.